Hi friends, thanks for joining me this week. This is the lesson for the second Sunday in Lent. And you remember from last week, Lent is the color purple for us. And purple is a color for royalty. The people of God were waiting for a king. And even though we know that Jesus is a king and even more, I don't think Jesus was the king that the people expected. And so the way that we're going to get our hearts ready for Easter is to journey with Jesus through his life so we can see who Jesus really was. Last week, we remembered Jesus' birth. We remembered that God chose the mother Mary and the father Joseph to be the parents that cared for God. When baby Jesus looked up into the face of Mother Mary, he saw the cross. When baby Jesus looked up at the face of Joseph, the cross was there too. We know that Mary and Joseph loved the baby Jesus. They cared for Jesus and they gave Jesus everything that he needed. And in this way, the Word chose to come into our world as a wordless baby. Now, we're going to look at our lesson for this week. The baby grew and grew. He became a boy. And when he was about 12 years old, he and his family and many people from their village took a trip, a long trip, all the way to the great city of Jerusalem. The people of that time would travel to this city to celebrate the high holy days. When the celebration was over, the people from Nazareth all began the journey home. Suddenly, Mary and Joseph discovered that Jesus was not there with them. They thought that he had been playing with the other children, that he was part of their group, just somewhere else along the road. They hurried back to the great city of Jerusalem to look for him. Mary and Joseph looked all through the dark and narrow streets. They looked in the marketplace where they had gotten their food. They looked at the place where they had stayed when they were in the city together. They looked everywhere for 3 days and 3 nights. Finally, they even looked in the temple. And there they found him with the priests. And when Jesus spoke, the priests would listen to him because he knew so much. And when the priest spoke, Jesus would listen because Jesus wanted to know more. Mary and Joseph then asked Jesus the question that no child can really answer. They said, "Why did you do this?" And Jesus had a strange answer. He looked at them and he said, "Didn't you know that I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand. Their house was in Nazareth, and that's where Joseph's carpenter shop was. They did not understand, but they did not forget. Now, I wonder what you would like to bring to this story today. If there is something in your house, or a picture, or a song that reminds you of something in this story. One of the things from my house that I'm going to bring to this story is a picture of my husband Paul and my son Thomas when he was 10. And they did a special 10-year-old trip together. And I think it's good to remember that kids are meant to grow up. And that there will be a time when even all that I want for my kids won't be enough, that they'll need God. So that's what I'll bring to the story this week. I'd love to see what you have at your house that you'd like to bring to the story. I'll see you soon on our Zoom call.